really, really good against Luna for the same reason it's good against Medusa, and I guess every hero really. You just swap Luna in, and she's so vulnerable, even more so than Medusa because she doesn't have mana shield. Very easy to bring her down. It's also really scary for Luna as well because she has to deal with Roar, and that really dissuades the BKB, and then even the Supernova on top. Once the egg drops, it will pierce BKB, so she has so many things to worry about at this point. The only good thing right now is that Venge is really quite weak against Chen. Phoenix quite weak against Chen, so the core is really going to need to make up for that. So they do pick up PL. PL is very elusive. I wouldn't say that PL is necessarily great against Chen in the laning phase. It will be really good later on. It's very hard to deal with, but so far this Chen has a lot going for him. Leshrac.
Yeah, immediate Leshrac response probably because of the PL, if anything, too.
Yeah, it's definitely good, but it's kind of the same problem I had with them in the last game where their disables are very light, and setting up a kill on the PL requires him to be disabled, so the split earth will come out. Like, even if he does Yules, there's a chance that Doppelwalk will disjoint that split earth, and hitting a Fire Blast on the PL is very difficult, especially as the game goes on. Maybe in the early phase it will be possible, but once the mana drain from the Diffusal Blade comes out, the illusions are running at the Ogre, a lot of times he does just run out of mana before he can simply cast Fire Blast. That's going to be a problem. They're going to need more lockdown.
Dire team ban.
So I was thinking, offlane heroes. One that, again, we don't really see right now too much, but the Timber Saw, maybe against the PL, but that doesn't really help the lockdown that you're talking about.
Yeah, it's... A lot of people believe Timber is very good against PL, and I would say that's 50-50. It really depends on where the momentum goes, because even the later it goes, the Diffusal Blade is not insignificant against Timber, even with Bloodstone. If you do lock him down for any number of seconds, the more mana you burn, the less that he can do, and then after he has no mana, he cannot actually escape or do damage, and then he becomes kind of useless. So yeah, it will bully him in the laning phase, but they're going to need to take a lot of momentum off of that if they want that to be viable. I think what's more likely would be something like Jonas is known for his Legion Commander. It will have a very free lane into the PL as Avenge. They don't have much to stop him from just taking free CS and levels, and it provides really good lockdown and catch for the PL, which is something that they're really going to need. And I'm actually surprised that Secret didn't actually ban that, but they felt that the Axe was worse, which is definitely another option.
Yes, LC, maybe the Underlord.
Oh god.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, I don't like.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people say that DK is really good against PL, and it's because you can Soul Ring and you can Magic Stick, and that will give you enough burst mana to actually cast the Dragon Tail out. And they do believe that the splash of the dragon is quite effective at identifying and clearing the illusions. But I still do think that it is not the strongest pick, and once he does get singled out and the mana burn does come through, and the purge is kind of makes DK, I don't know, a little insignificant. I'm interested to see if they're going to put this Leshrac in the offlane or if they're going to put DK in the offlane. Either is viable, but I would say for the DK to actually have a good impact in this game, you definitely would want to put him into the mid lane. But yeah, I mean, like, the thing is that DK is, he's very tanky in the offlane, but if a Phoenix comes in and casts the Sun Ray on top of a couple of slows and disables, that will actually kill him most times. So I'm not really confident in that lane. I think another possibility is that TfT will potentially try aggro trialing with this Chen. I think if they just had Chen plus Leshrac or Chen plus DK in the offlane, that's not really the best way to abuse Chen, in my opinion. Oh god, Invoker.
Fluff, I was sitting here and I was like, how cool would it be to have a mid 1 Invoker? I promise you, I was thinking that.
Nice.
And we get a mid 1 Invoker. I love it. I'm not, but the other part of me is like, I don't know why. I just personally like seeing this hero. I mean, it's always fun to see, in my opinion. I play a little bit myself, so. But yeah, why the Invoker though? It's what makes it good this game, maybe.
Well,
it's decent against DK.
Oh, it destroys DK just because before BKB, there's so many ways to cut him out. Even when BKB does fade, very easy to control him with the Ice Wall, but it's very, very annoying for the Chen. I'm curious to see if he goes for Quasvex or Extort. Personally, I generally prefer Extort, but I know that a couple of high MMR players in EU, including TopSun, have been experimenting with the Quasvex.
Spirit Vessel.
And Spirit Vessel, yes. It can be effective, but it does fall off. But it's pretty much Chen's worst nightmare in a lot of cases. he Midases one of your creeps. There's so much crowd control. You pretty much expect all of them to just die in every single fight, have no impact whatsoever. And if stuns do come out and Sunstrike comes on top, it's very free kills on the Chen. So I'd be very worried for him. So let's see, Jonas is playing the Leshrac. I do like this a lot better than the DK in the offlane, but again, a Leshrac in a Chen is not the strongest lane. Generally with Chen, you want to pair him with something a little more aggressive, like heroes like Sand King and Legion. And I felt like Legion would have been probably the best pick in this game because I'm not sure if it was banned. I believe it wasn't. You can purge off the Beastmaster's Roar, which is always useful into Beastmaster. It's very good matchup into PL in the lane and throughout the game, and pairing with the Chen, it can be quite strong once he does hit level 6. But you know, that's neither here nor there. We do have a draft. I'm curious at how they're going to set up these lanes because it's going to be very important for TfT.
He did go Expert, by the way, so we have that answer right off the bat.
Good.
Getting those early Sunstrikes. Would have liked to see Quaswa, because I'm with you there. It's just kind of it's definitely. It's more of a finesse play, especially in the earlier game where, you know, you get X where you just Sunstrike people, like, whatever. But no, it's X, it's understandable. Helps with that last hitting, especially as well, of course, in the laning phase against the DK here. But yeah, no, I'm definitely with you with the LC. You talk about that, the overwhelming odds on top of that to help against the PL. It's just, it did seem like it would have been a strong pick, but
yeah, it's one of his favorite heroes, and he's a drafter. Yeah. I feel like sometimes. I don't know, he might have thought that they wanted Leshrac mid first, and then they thought it was a good DK game. But yeah, if anything, this was the best game for him to pick that Legion commander. They do have the Ogre sitting down bottom lane. He does have a Stout Shield, so it looks like because Pablo's playing this, we have a 5-position Chen. I do like Chen. Chen can babysit the safe lane, but it's just not the best way to use it, in my opinion. He will zone pretty effectively, however, the Luna might have so much pressure that it wouldn't even matter, especially with these dual lane scenarios.
Yeah, those fire spirits just flying out, and both Hanskin and Frost have to keep running. If FATA wants to keep chasing, he's got those wild axes. Not going to use them again though. Luna would just hug the tower, but good bounty rune control coming out from Team Secret, of course. They did get that one, but yeah, FATA got that one, and they're going to get this one. So it will be that 2-2 split as the bottom though, in favor of the final tribe. But our middle matchup, DK versus Invoker, you're stressing. Seems like this is setting up to be mid 1 to have a pretty good time in that mid lane. And now Invoker at the same time could be susceptible to getting ganked. You know, you do have that Chen, for example. Is that something you would expect to see from TfT earlier on to make those movements mid, or is that not going to be possible?
Not really going to be possible. They're going to be locked into dual lanes where Chen is going to feel like he must protect the Luna, which is definitely the case. And actually, DK is one of the better heroes into Quaswex, or to X-Sword Invoker, sorry. It's easy for him to hit the Breathe Fire onto both the hero and the Forge Spirit, pretty much reducing all damage coming out. And Invoker with his low base damage, with the Breathe Fire, it's very hard to CS, and DK will farm just fine. But you know, it is a DK after all. Invoker is going to be completely fine, and bottom lane is actually pretty good for Leshrac because Venge can't really contribute all too much, and Ogre's such a robust laner. It's going to be a pretty good lane for him, especially once he starts leveling up the Lightning Storm. It's gonna be very annoying for the PL. There is kill potential if he does, you know, play with low HP. So that's one thing going for them. I do like Invoker in general, though. I think Invoker will be coming back into the meta because kind of what you want from that 2 position is like a hybrid of the physical and the magical, but also be able to take the team fights and be a little bit quicker than your 1 position. Bottom lane Ogre does get going on, but they can't really turn that into anything. But yeah, so Invoker, like, with some builds that people are going, I did watch Paparazzi playing Invoker on one of his pubs, and he actually just skipped Midas straight up.
I was going to bring that up if you were. We've seen a lot of you mentioned Thompson, like Midas has kind of died off, I feel like, on Invokers.
Yeah, I mean, I still like it, but I feel like people think that Invoker is not really gonna come online quick enough, and it's definitely viable to choose not to.
Top lane, that was really close, by the way. The beam not going to happen from Frost. It wouldn't be enough damage. Beastmaster's got the 3 mangoes as well to make sure to help stay alive. You see, Hanskin, he did send back his Satyr.
Oh no.
Wants to regen it. Yeah, that's it's going to be a while. So it'll take some time here. Yeah, I also want to go back to the Ogre, though. Yeah, that's true. You can just bring it back in. But going back to the Ogre, yeah, we kind of overlooked him a little bit in the draft because there's just so much else to talk about. But Ogre's just, I mean, he's a simple hero overall, of course, but he did receive some nasty buffs, man, in this latest patch. His multicast, it's ridiculous how they buff that ability now, both especially at level 1, but even at 2 and 3. In the hands of Pablo here, is this a hero maybe you would expect to start seeing a little bit more, especially after these buffs?
I think so. That multicast buff is really significant, especially since it's affecting the Fire Blast stun duration. It's just so noticeable, especially once supports are getting a lot of levels these patches. There's a big fight happening. It looks like Ben is going to go down again.
That's first blood, yeah. Ignite runs him down. That's a good Ogre with that Orb of Venom as well. He really is a bully in this lane.
There's not much Venge can do, but I think he's fine with that because the trade-offs are so good for them in the mid lane game if they could just get out of this. And looks like PL is just farming just fine.
How was the mid lane going? Right now, DK 17 and 8. Wow, Invoker's 13 and 6. So right now, Arrow's definitely having the better of Invoker.
It's hard to CS against Breathe Fire as Invoker. It's really easy to land the Breathe Fire and Invoker, so his damage is always reduced. And then with the Stout Shield and Quelling Blade on DK, he doesn't care about any damage coming through.
Luna's having a great time top lane. It seems like Chen is definitely doing enough. I constantly see every time I go up here, he has a Centaur, or the Satyr forward. He's got a Centaur now as well. In fact, FATA's in trouble. You see Icarus dive forward from Phoenix trying to help to save Beastmaster, but that's not going to be nearly enough. They just trap him in. The beam comes out, and down goes Beastmaster. So now the 2-0 start looking good for the final tribe, especially that top lane's winning. We talked about DK already. Much better start right now for the final tribe.
Yeah, I think a lot of this has to do with the impact of the Phoenix. It's just not a hero that will put so much pressure on the lane. Chen is one of the strongest laning heroes in the game, whether you put him off lane or in the safe lane. Once he gets those creeps up, there's hardly any heroes that can contest him. So when you don't build for the Chen, he will get a lot off. And this is something that I think we can agree on for Secret. They definitely pick a little bit less for the lanes and more for the game in general, seeing as Venge is just not that great of a laning support and can be punished. But same thing goes for Phoenix. As a 4 position, it's pretty greedy. If your lane doesn't go well, you will have a really good impact in the mid game, but you have to accept the trade-off.
I am shocked that FATA did not get that bounty room, but it was 5:15 and he was busy farming the camp right there. Hanska just walked right up and picked up the bounty. It's almost like he thought it was already taken at that point. So it's a little bit of a miscue from Beastmaster at the top lane. But yeah, you could argue right now all 3 lanes are actually being won by TfT, because even Leshrac at the bottom lane, he's 23 and 3 now. PL's 25 and 5 actually, so they've been bouncing back and forth. But again, continues to be the case of the decent start. Now bottom lane Pablo, but this is a beefy support similar to an Undying. It's hard to kill, however, there is going to be enough. In fact, mid one will get credit with the Sunstrike Snipe in the end. So finally a kill on the board for Team Secret. However, mid one now in trouble. Dragontail comes out. Hanska with the flank. We talked about the possibility of this happening, and it's great execution from TfT. Ghost Walk. Oh, they don't have vision.
Yeah,
he got the Ghost Walk off in time. Great invoke. No Hadouken. He's gonna be fine. I thought that for sure was a kill. Cold snaps. He has support coming in. Puppey's roaming in. Double damage Beastmaster. There's a magic missile. I don't think they have enough damage though. Yeah, that DK is hard to kill in the ancient dragon form. So instead we'll just have 4 heroes here from Secret, not doing a whole lot. Well, what do we make of all that?
This is looking really good for TfT. The Luna is gonna have a really strong game, and we know that when Frost does get that priority, he will just take off. Something about the way that he farms, and as well as I've watched a couple of his replays just to see how he does get such good GPM. He's not even a greedy carry. He doesn't just farm alone. He actually goes to objectives. So I'll definitely imagine that he's gonna go to some towers as this goes out of the laning phase. And but right now, yeah, he's actually looking really good.
Radiant are scanning.
Top lane, they scan out Chen. So Chen was coming in, but Beastmaster, he had a very good idea that Hanska was roaming in, or somebody, and he sees that, but is gonna still have that tower pushed in pretty heavily. Meanwhile, also Phantom Lancer at the bottom lane is still by himself. You have Ogre and Leshrac bullying him quite a bit. The Fire Blast comes out with the Ignite. Jonas gonna land the Spirit. That might be a kill. Phantom Lancer goes down, actually. He did not have another Doppelganger. Again, they just keep running at it. Vengeful Spirit taking forever to get back to the safe lane. And so they take advantage of that big time.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is that Leshrac just has such a good matchup in the PL. All the things that Leshrac offers counters PL in a way. He can clear out the illusions. He does have the hard lockdown to actually get the kills, and he's also ranged, so it's very hard to harass. And the funny thing is that if Chen was in bottom lane, this lane would look even worse than it already is, because this lane is just so weak. The PL and the Venge, and then, you know, with guaranteeing the Leshrac gets the levels, that's just the best part about it. So they should have control of bottom for a long time.
Uh-oh. Mid one. He's might be in a dangerous spot. DK's coming over with Leshrac. There's the splitter on top of the Fire Blast of Dragon Tail as well. And they kill mid one. Great use of the Invis rune from Pablo. Finds a pretty key kill in that Invoker. So another good execution from TfT. May transition into the middle tier 1 tower. YapzOr going to do what he can to save this. But you also have Luna heading over. You're talking about this. Luna, they pushed in the top tower. Oh, maybe not. She's farming the jungle for now. But
look at his build.
More objectives being done.
Luna went to 4 Moonglaves, 3 Lucent Beam, no Eclipse build, so that means he just wants to farm.
Okay. Only the 1 point of that Lunar Blessing, but they do take out the mid tower as well. And more gold going the way as a team. Ace is trying to make up at the bottom lane. But you see, Ace is, he only has a Ring of Aculo right now. Doesn't even have boots currently picked up, so the struggle's real for him down there.
Yeah, this is not the start that you want to have on PL. It's very important in this game that he gets the Diffusal Blade, because they do have a lot of ways if they get ahead. Let's see if they actually connect with the skill. Nope, Dragon Form runs out. But if DK hits level 11 and then Leshrac gets a couple of items, they will have no problem dealing with the PL. He needs to not only get the Diffusal Blade, but also start building towards his second item before he starts actually taking fights confidently. So right now, being behind this is a really big opening for TfT to just go to any tower they choose to. And they should be able to mow them down one by one and then threaten the Roshan at some point.
Jonas, he's leading the way, pushing this bottom tower now. The last tier 1 remaining on the side of Secret. Ogre applies Bloodlust to Luna. They're going to run at them. The splitter hits on Vengeful. Ace, he did not get hit though. He doesn't have Doppelganger. However, Eclipse going to come up. They at least get Vengeful. Can they find Ace? He's going to have to hide here for now. Phantom Rush away. Great play by Ace initially. 8 seconds still in that Doppelganger though. It's just going to be too long. Only level 1. He Phantom Rushes in, but this delays maybe a little bit of the inevitable. So Hanskin gets credit for the kill, and that's the easy tier 1 tower push. So initially it looked like a solid play, but again, it wasn't going to be the escape in the end.
Yeah, really, really good rotation from TfT. A lot of times I criticize teams for not being decisive and doing this correctly, but they did everything right. They brought the 4 heroes they need to. With a smoke, it was surprising. They dove the tower, so no TPs would stagger in, and they get the tower. Now they have full map control for the Luna. She will continue on pace. This is exactly where she wants to be at this point in the game, so they're playing this perfectly.
Mid one is going to Hanamidas. So yeah, I was definitely agreeing with you there. In fact, a lot of the observations lately have been Invokers passing up that Midas, but mid one in this case feels like it's still necessary. And then of course the eventual Ags will come out. Dragonite, that's the wrong one. He tried to guess, and unfortunately it's the wrong one. The real one will be fine, but hey, they're going to transition into the bottom tier 2 tower. Ancient Dragon form active. It's just 4 heroes here. Again, TfT, it's similar to what Secret was doing last game, right? Where it's like TFT's now, they're the one with the early tempo, and they're playing it like they should be because of a little bit of greed on the side of Secret with Invoker and Phantom Lancer.
Definitely. There's something that I don't like about this. Well, there's one thing I like and one thing I don't like. Number one, I like that they didn't commit Luna to it. She's always farming. She's not losing GPM. No one was going to defend that tower. What I don't like is that when there are free towers being taken and they're clearly not going to defend, the supports need to move off map, like Pablo and Chen, or maybe DK. One of those heroes needs to just move into the fog so that Secret feels uneasy. But because they reveal all 4 of their heroes, they understand that they can trade evenly, and that's not exactly the situation you want to be in. When you have the advantage, you want to maintain that tower advantage. And part of the reason for that is that the DK did try to TP tier 1 top, and he had to cancel it, realizing that he would just suicide. So they weren't able to rotate their team in to actually defend that tier 2 tower. And the Ogre did have to cancel his TP, so they lost the tower 1 for 1, which is not great.
But going for the haste rune, Pablo actually ends up picking it up right in front of him though with the Fire Blast initiation, and then they take him out anyway. So FATA, speaking of struggling, not doing the best on the Beastmaster. Another double multi-cast. That's that buff coming into play, man. I'm telling you, the 60%. And Vengeful Spirit, he will get picked up as well. So this roaming Ogre Magi clearly working out pretty well. He actually went level 4 ignited on top of that, so You know, plenty of harassment and damage coming out from him, but you are right though, they did keep up that top tier 2 tower. In fact, Phoenix is still up here. So that was a hand of God. Was that actually to save somebody? Yeah, bottom lane.
Yeah, bottom lane. They got in a Luna and PL got in a man fight, and the PL actually started winning that, and then they started panicking.
Oh, YapzOr, he went back in. Well, an attempt was made today by YapzOr. We'll go with that. Whoops, that happened. So he goes down, no TP. That's going to be on cooldown. Unfortunate play by him. He is trying to get that Spirit Vessel. He went the urn early and is going to go right into the Spirit Vessel. Is this a team that's, I guess with Chen, yeah, you can argue it's decent priority.
It's just a nice item to have, specifically on the Phoenix, and just for positions in general. Like the extra HP, that movement speed's significant. And then when you combine it with the Sunray eventually later in the game, it's just a lot of damage coming through. But I do like Era going for the Blink Dagger next. They definitely need that. We said that they lack catch on the peel. This is going to be something they really need to pick them off.
They scanned and they knew they were coming. The bait is real. However, Leshrac still gets a good upfront damage with the Primal Roar. He does go down. The Sunstrike finishing the job, but it's going to come at a cost. FATA, he's definitely dead. Puppey, I don't think he's going to win that. Penitent slow, if anything, keeping him in place. Oh, Chen is going to get turned, however. Great turn from Puppey. Takes somebody with him, and numbers-wise, again, a 2-for-2 exchange when it's all said and done there.
Yeah, great turn. Chen didn't really realize that he could get bursted down, just trying to get division catch. Puppey smartly realizing they could turn it around, so making the best of a bad situation. I do like TFT's instincts there. They chose the core, between the core and the support, to initiate on first. A lot of amateur teams or amateur players will just go for whoever's the easiest, which in that case it was the Vengeful Spirit, but in any situation where you can choose, you do want to bring down the core first, so they did make the correct choices there.
Invoker, he gets caught out in the jungle. Does he have Ghostwalk invoked? He does not, and it's just not going to happen. Did they even have vision? They didn't have vision, so it would have been interesting. Granted, Jonas with that Pulse Nova and Diabolic Edict. Point is, they get the kill. Lockdown is plenty to take him out. So mid one was starting to pick it up. You see him now actually about to back down to 3rd place on the network chart, but Anamidas has been paying off. He's working towards the Ags, which we all know it's gonna allows Invoker to truly play the game once he has that. I will say the Invoker buff that happened too is something you can't overlook either. Again, as somebody who plays Invoker a little bit myself, it feels so nice not having to worry about spending mana invoking abilities earlier on in the game.
Yeah, seriously.
Because of that.
Especially in the laning phase, especially just when you want to swap to Alacrity or Sunstrike Full Snap. Always thinking about that mana cost is really annoying, but now it's gone. It's perfect.
Oh, mid one, taking some good damage. Again, more reinforcements are here. Puppey's trying to chase after, but Pablo is not the target to go on off in the back lines. Era, he went in pretty deep, and now he's by himself. Sunray on top of him. Sunstrike as well. It's just going to miss, though. Hand of God even comes out. They pick up Puppey. Ace he seems confused. He's not sure who to go for. He wants to go for Jonas Fan now. He finds a low target. Might come at a cost to himself. They get the kill, Leshrac, but at what cost for Ace? It probably will be his life. Doppelganger once again continuing to be on a long cooldown, and indeed he will fall. So we 2 for 1 for TFT. And will they group up and maybe just push the lane here? We'll have to wait and see. But these are some, I mean, they're hard to kill on TFT's side. You got the beefy supports, you have a Dragonite core, you have Chen heals kicking in. Not the easiest kills here.
Yeah, and even the PL feeling under so much pressure is he went straight Yasha. So there will not be a diffusal blade. That means heroes like DK, or I criticized, not being the best usually. It's gonna be amazing now. When there's no diffusal blade on the field, this hero just destroys. Same thing goes for Chen. When Chen doesn't have to worry about that damage, even the Ogre Magi as well, because Ogre is just such a bad hero with no mana pool, and when you slow him down and overwhelm him, there's almost nothing to do. But now they're gonna have a massive timing where they're not afraid whatsoever to take any fight.
Yeah, this Ogre is decently farmed too. He's level 11. He's in the middle of the pack as far as net worth goes. He has an Aether Lance. He's got a Blink Dagger queued up. Casual Buckler as well. I love seeing items like that this early on in the game. Only 17 minutes in, why not? And a Casual Buckler for the team. Advantage of using Ogre. Well, it's Caster's Curse fluff. This happens. Start praising somebody and Secret gets pissed off. Well, they find the kill.
I would like to see TFT just continue to force more fights, especially when the BKB does come out on Luna. So that's probably what they're waiting for, wanting to play it safe, even though they did take that fight. It's a smart thing to do. Back off, guarantee that we do hit this BKB timing because it's going to be incredible. Once they do get that BKB, they should be able to take the rest of the tier 2s and then Roshan, and then from that point on, they will just control the map, and that's ideally what kind of strategy should come out from TfT.
Yeah, Luna really has been quiet this game in a lot of ways, but 2-0-3, so obviously still been somewhat involved, but you're right, that BKB is just going to be an absolute game changer, it seems like. And you also mentioned Phantom Lancer. He went the Yasha first. 1,600 gold saved up now. You were talking about the Diffusal Blade earlier. I expect, oh, back to the top lane, by the way. Luna is being hunted this whole time by Vengeful. Invoker getting here, throws on the Meteor on top of the swap with the Cold Snap. But Frosty's a little beefier than maybe they hoped for. The one use on top of that, Frost will survive. Popping the Mask of Madness to run away. The Wave of Terror connects. Does take it a little bit lower, but again, he does survive. Oh, Sunstriker heard it. Oh, it hits him. Mid one guessed it, and he was right. Okay, they do have vision there. They did have a ward, yeah. I was going to say, that was a godlike Sunstrike if it wasn't for vision, but still, either way, well played by mid one. Obviously, Beastmaster picked up in the middle lane during that, and they're going to lose a tier 2 tower, but still.
Puppey, God, that is literally the best play possible, and it's an unlikely play at that. Puppey ran top all by himself, set up on the Luna, and then just came in with the assist for mid one. Like, if you're TFT, you can't be that like inconsiderate for your Luna. Like, the fact that they were all obscured, like, I was looking exactly what they were doing. They were in the Radiant jungle and Fog of War. Secret had no idea where they were. And generally, when you do leave that one person off, like, to farm the lanes, you want to be creating pressure somewhere else. Like, if they were showing in mid lane or bottom lane or having a fight somewhere, then that's where Luna can go and farm. So in a way, it could be on Frost as well, but you know, generally you don't want to be farming alone unless you know for sure where the opponent will be moving towards.
Did the server get really laggy for you as well by chance? Or was that just me? Okay, I just reconnect. Okay, it looks fine now. Yeah, I was dealing with a bit of lag there, but they are doing Roshan. Yeah, just jumping back in Alacrity applied to mid one. However, they want to defend this on the side of the final trap. Of course, Roshan not yet just out. They catch over here. It looks like Vengeful Spirit. BKB going to be activated across. He's running in. He wants to kill. Eclipse is already activated as well. They did pick up Beastmaster. The Age is going to be snatched up by Nox on top of that. And TFT definitely winning this by the Supernova. Not going to work. Tries to use it off to the side of the Roshan pit. Gets killed out pretty quickly. It seemed like Phantom Lancer also got out of that fight pretty quickly himself. And pretty much all Secret. They kind of just spread out. And the cores will survive, but they give up the Aegis on top of that. It was a little bit of a risky attempt. I think that goes without saying from Secret, and would have been nice if they got it, but they do not. Instead, Luna picks it up. And here we go, tier 3.
Ooh, that's close.
Puppey gets picked up. Phantom Lancer's locked down. The multicast kicking in. Doppelganger at the last second that will keep him alive, but watch the glaive start bouncing now, especially with that Bloodlust buff, man. These are easy rack skills here.
Easy. I'd like to see Pablo use his buckler more. I've been watching that buckler for some reason. Never popped.
Really? That's a good point, actually. He still hasn't used it right now as arrows being gone on, but there's a nice send back, and I'll keep him alive. You also see the Fiery Spirits doing a little bit of work there against Luna, especially that with that Bloodlust. The attack speed slow is nice, but still, damage done. Tier 3 top lane was killed off. I don't know if that just happened or that was earlier, but either way. Again, TFT feeling pretty good about the big picture there. 10,000 net worth lead now, and they still have the Aegis for quite a bit longer.
Yeah, this is great. All they need to do is just find a pickoff on the top side, and that will be at least a buyback, if not a racks, depending on who they do bring down. And this is one of the saddest PLs I've ever seen. Yasha into BKB, that's not what you want to be doing almost ever on PL. Your damage output is next to none. You literally just run in the fight and cast Spirit Lance, and it's a rank 2 Spirit Lance, and it's just kind of, I feel like his game is over at this point, and unless they, you know, win a really big fight, there's no way that he's going to be doing any damage in these fights whatsoever.
Yeah, Phantom Lancer is definitely very underwhelming. He's dealing with the last track, he's dealing with the glaives bouncing around as well with all those illusions created, so not the easiest game for Ace, and it is a hard game to recover, it feels like. BKB just finished on Dragon Knight as well. Delivered to him over here. There's the last tier 2 tower taken out in favor of the final tribe. They're not going to go tier 3 just yet up there. They're going to kind of regroup for the time being. Maybe there's still a shrine here. And in fact, both shrines are still up, and TFT Almost seems like they might be overlooking that a little bit. Seems like maybe an easy shrine kill, but they choose to go elsewhere for now. Am I wrong to think, though, if you're TfT, you really just want to use this Aegis right as DK? He's dead. Okay, there's a nice Sunstrike kill with the Primal Roar setup and PL nearby. We'll take that. Now, bottom lane Ogre, we ported into Death Trap. Look at the multicast off, but it doesn't matter. So, TfT,
oh my.
You got to be careful about this. So that's a 3,000 net worth swing. So I gotta go back to my point, Fluff. I mean, TfT needs to use the Sages, right?
Well, the thing is that they can't go high ground directly. The top lane actually picking off Phoenix, maybe. I don't think it's enough damage for the yeah. You would have to catch them here before the TP. I don't think that's possible.
Good.
Bottom lane, they're actually forcing them TP, and they're not going to do anything. They're just trying to force reactions. As far as your Aegis question goes, they can't really just force high ground 5-on-5 because there will be buybacks. They're not that ahead where they can overcome buybacks at this point, and they always need to be paranoid of the swap. If Venge swaps in Luna, gets her in a bad position, that could be a terrible swing for them. So they need to be very careful and look for the pickoffs.
Ghost Walk. The dust does connect the second one. They used one initially, but Dragon Eye still felt like they had a chance. He gets it off, and mid one is caught. Jonas taking credit for that kill. So mid one does have a buyback worst case, but he is dead for 45 seconds now at this point. So yes, I understand it. You do bring up some good points right there, but with Invoker dead, maybe a bit more of an over. Like I said, if anything, get the shrines, right? I mean, they are available, and we do see TfT heading to it now down here.
I'm curious if Luna will buy a Lincoln Sphere or if he just wants to go for the DPS route. I think there's no wrong answer here because the PL is just so far behind. However, with a couple of those pickoffs, the Diffusal is coming out. He's nowhere near as strong as he should be at this point. Don't get me wrong, but it's a step in the right direction. So TfT can't just give up these free kills for no reason. They need to maintain their formation. I felt like they might have got a little sloppy there. The game plan revolves around the Luna. Just let the Luna get her farm, make sure that she's safe, and then push out one more wave so that you don't lose map control. Right now, I think they just need to get control of that top area, get some wards over there. They have no vision up top, and they just look for the pickoffs.
Let's see the bounty room control. There's the takeaway of the Aegis. That's Phantom Lancer, he doppelgangers, and he'll just keep running, making sure to stay out of range of getting jumped unless DK has something to say about that. Blinking one more second, they may go. Yeah, Ancient Dragon Form BKB reaction though from Ace. And I'm guessing he'll be fine. God, that's a lot of damage. He does make it out, but that's a BKB use now. That's on cooldown and obviously not into 9 seconds as well.
So this is really good. TfT is doing exactly what I thought they should do. Take control of this top area. It's kind of sad that Pablo did buy back in the last fight. It was just a skirmish, so his blink dagger's delayed, and he didn't choose the 90 GPM talent, which is a little surprising as it's just really good. But I think the cast range is definitely an argument for that because being able to fire blast out of nowhere while mid lane's getting gone, but just fine. This is BKB turns.
Well, I was gonna say maybe does it have a Ghost Walk swap, so Puppey will die as a result of this.
Well,
but kind of really didn't have a choice there. That's how Vengeful works, and that's a port roll. Your core gets jumped on like that, you pretty much gotta swap.
So I do like this Luna. She's queued up the Lincoln Sphere. She recognizes that, you know, that's the way that they're gonna break high ground. Even if she did have Butterfly, getting swapped into the middle of the base doesn't really, that item doesn't really protect you from that. And there's not really any item that can. Yeah. You know, like Lincoln's is your best bet, and that'll be up to Secret to actually try to cancel that out. But as it stands, it's just very nice. There's not many cancels, and it's gonna keep you pretty safe when you're going for the high ground. Like you don't. It's all up to mid one to really like break it safely, and then you know, PL doesn't really want to move up, so it's gonna be a really nice item for him. The Fusel progress, it's on the way. It will take maybe another minute and a half. We do have a gem on DK. That's huge. Like he's not going down this game. He's just so far ahead, and his matchups are great. So that gem is gonna last for a very long time. Almost BKB on Leshrac even. He actually even has it. So once he gets a blink combined with that BKB, he's able to just jump in and pick off anyone. Like he can force BM to roar him, for example, and he won't even die if he just pops BKB and blinks in. So it's really, really nice.
Roshan, about 35 seconds before he could respawn, so give it a minute at least or so before we're going to see Roshan coming back up, but I'm sure TfT is going to patiently wait nearby for that to take place. And now Assault Curios queued up for Era. Looking at his progress, he mentioned Leshrac now even going to Aeon Disc, so a Blink Dagger for him, just wants to just keep beefing up. Aeon Disc will help with that cause. Luna, that Lincolns you keep talking about, he's got 3,300 gold saved up, so Frost almost there. Of course, buyback will be on the mind, I'm sure, as well. A decent item to pick up on Secret side is this Heaven's Halberd from Phoenix, and he actually has enough gold for it now. Just a matter of buying the Talisman. Using that on Luna.
He can somehow dive, Icarus dive, and get it off somehow. That could be cute, but it's very easy for Final Tribe to punish him. Kind of the point I was getting at. Well, bottom lane, they're getting Force and Roar. They're not going to turn into anything. He's just way too tanky. Plus 300 talent, level 15. But what I was going to say is that in combination with Aether Lens, like the justification for cast range over GPM is that if he can catch the PL with the Fire Blast, just, you know, because of this extra range, a lot of times it's hard to calculate as a carry player. So if he can get one stun off, and, you know, even better if it's a multicast, that's going to give him a huge opportunity in the team fight. So taking that talent is really, really nice, and that's actually the best way to play it if the Diffusal did come out early, because yeah, once the illusions start running at the Ogre and he runs out of mana, that's it. So if he can cast it, it's gonna be really nice. And I do like that he has the Blink Dagger now. He's gonna benefit from the extra range as well, from the Aether Lens and the talent in his Blink, so he's gonna have a huge catch range.
Yeah, you're talking a lot about these talents. I'm looking further on. Oh my god, that level 20. I find it amusing that his level 20 40 strength talent is literally the same level 25 talent that Dragon Knight has as well. But this is now 40 bloodlust attack speed is obviously pretty good for the role he's playing. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. Ace, he's gonna be jumping, he pops BKB, just TPs immediately. So yet again, a case of, I mean, he survives, but another BKB used to just simply get the hell out of there. Mid one's gonna keep split pushing. Secret, they're doing a lot of this. I mean, Beastmaster was doing it at the bottom lane. Mid one's been doing it at the top lane. You know, we've already seen the tier 3 taken out up here, and may get some good damage in as Frost comes in. So never mind. Roshan's up in just under a minute now, so that'll be key once again.
Oh yeah, Secret's played this perfectly, just splitting it up. There's no way they could fight. They just simply do not have the damage. Invoker does nothing. It's a double BKB core, triple BKB core at this point. So it's all on PL, and PL, you know, he's just so far behind that he's not going to do a single thing. And as well as Diffusal Blade not really working once the BKBs are up. So this is totally in TFT's court. Look at this Invoker. He's playing so cheeky. He almost got the courier, and he's pushing into the base, just trying to chip down the Rex. Puts a lot of pressure on TFT, but the only reason why TFT is not pushing further is just they're pretty much waiting on Roshan. That's like their key into this game, and now that they have the Lincolns, they have everything they need.
Yeah, here goes Beastmaster, and with the army, Phantom Lancer is just kind of sitting nearby, but PL just, yeah, at least he has his Diffusal now. He's down to 8 seconds on the BKB, but has some more damage threat and Manta style queued up. He's gonna assist down here. FATA, they actually gonna go in. Dragon Knight just goes in first. He's like, come at us, bro. Beastmaster, he has his promo. He wants the tower kill. That's all he wants. He's gonna sacrifice himself. He throws out the roar at the last second, but I mean, that was a lost cause from the beginning, it felt like.
Yeah, and actually, I even think that might have been calculated from Secret, where they wanted to drag them bottom lane so they could ninja Roshan. Puppey was waiting for it, and they were all in position to collapse. But the thing is that Hanskin had 2 siege creeps in the pit, so he scouted Puppey, so that play actually was in vain.
And speaking of Roshan, it is up. TFT, they are going to spot that themselves, so it's a matter of can they get the position to do it now. You see the vision gain, they do have one over here in the Radiant Ancients, so they would have a decent idea. Sunstrike will scout it out for Secret. And Invoker does make it difficult. The tornadoes and EMPs, etc. In fact, there we go. Tornado, EMP. Pablo is going to take the cold snap as well. Luna, big ring, it's not going to work. She starts falling back for now. Pablo gets sent back by Chen. Who's up here? That's Leshrac. Leshrac's actually trying to survive. He gets sheeped up initially. Aeon Disc will be popped over. The meteor put down, as well as that ice belt wall. And gonna slow him down, but he pops the BKB. Phoenix just dies, attempting to supernova. That's not gonna work though. Unispan will keep running away. It's a very scattered fight right now. Phoenix does buy back. Roshan still plenty of life to work with, though. Jonas and Fanny is in trouble. Puppey swap into the stun. Invoker nearby with that alacrity. The cold snaps on top of it. Another Hex coming out. And yes, indeed, Jonas Fan will fall. But now Pablo taking out those of the multicast Bloodlust on top of Dragon Knight. Gets 20 up initially. But they're going to get the pick on the Vengeful Spirit. Ace is just going to walk around like a chicken with his head cut off. BKB's not going to save him there. The Eclipse bouncing around, farming a little bit more for Frost. Another buyback coming in. This one from Vengeful. Very scattered fight, though.
Yeah, that Aeon disc is really new on the last track, so Secret had no idea that was coming. So Jonas felt really confident to just run in, blow the Aeon disc, and then hopefully buy enough time with Yules and BKB, and he did just that. The Phoenix thought a fight was going to happen. They brought him down, and you know that multicast, you called it. Like he multicasted twice on the PL. That set up enough opportunities for the Breeze Fire to just fly over the top of the cliff and just bring him down. So freaking Ogre's going crazy right now.
Yeah, Blink Dagger Ogre. He's got the wealth. Sunstrike again gonna scout a Roshan. So again, TfT gets it kind of low, but Secret is here to defend. PL's up in about 10 seconds. They're gonna catch Phoenix initially. You got Yules on top of the Fire Blast Tornado. In him with the EMP. Chen will be caught by that. BKB activated with Frost though. As they kill off Phoenix, he's dead for 60. He ain't buying back. Roshan probably going to go down this time in favor of TfT unless Vengeful can maybe make a play. Somehow swap. He's going to be stunned. Or no, he actually gets a stun off as Pablo jumps in. So Roshan will go down in the Final Trap's favor. Aegis picked up by Luna. Bottom lane though, Jonas going at it with FATA. FATA's going to fall. The Sunstrike will completely miss. And Puppey also goes down. So again, the scattered fights continue. This time though, TfT does come out on top. And this could be one of those, all right, we're going to push the base now and really even try to end this game.
Oh yeah, there's so many heroes with no buybacks. Any 2 kills at this point is gonna be the end of the game.
There we go. Jump in, Era goes in on Invoker. He's in trouble. Invoker, I don't think he's a buyback. Ghostwalk's not gonna save him. He's dead for 70 seconds. They go now for the tier 3, and as mentioned, this could very likely be the beginning of the end now in favor of TfT and forcing a third and what would be a final game. At this point, the multicast on PL, but again, they're really not even scared about PL. He's just so underfarmed this game. They're going to go to the top lane just to complete the mega creeps. And what do? Invoker's still dead for 50. He's your ultimate counter push. And he's not coming up anytime soon. So Secret maybe talking it over if anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end. FATA, Promeror, just delay as much as you can. Necronomicon spawn, but Frosty just pops the BKB, goes for the racks. Fortification coming out as well. It's going to wear off any second, though. Lincoln's popped on Frost. Remember, he has an Aegis worst case. He just goes for the Eclipse. He's going to zone them out if anything. Getting plenty of creep kills. Meanwhile, Ace, his BKB wears off. Jonas and Fan using his. And the Mega Creeps have now officially spawned for TfT. So Secret may not be giving in just yet 100%, but TfT, they could just sit comfortably back now and win this game just over time.
Yeah, this is not a lineup that can sustain through mega creeps. The PL is easily going to be abused. The Invoker is probably their best bet, but he does have cooldowns, namely the Meteor, very large cooldown. So TfT, what they need to do is just finish up their last round of items. Say, okay, we're ready. We bought up our next items like the Kuros on the DK, for example. We do have the Butterfly. We can go Satanic on Luna, and we don't even need to use the Aegis here. We will just go, and once we get a kill, they have no buyback. Some heroes, we will win the game.
You see level 20 talents, core starting to kick in for TfT. In fact, their 3 cores all have that now. Dragon Knight actually choosing the Dragon Blood HP regen and armor. And again, 25, we talked about the 40 strength as well, that he will very likely get on top of that. Ogre is also close to level 20. We'll see what he gets, but Bloodlust attack speed is being the hero that he is in his role. I'm sure he'll go that, but it's enticing, man. 40 strength, that would feel pretty good.
That is really hard to pass up, but I feel like those core players would be like, dude, you take 40 attacks, are you kidding me?
Yeah, give me more, baby. Ogre just throwing out the Ignite. See the many multi-casts. There's Bloodlust applied to teammates. Let me see, Secret does not want to get caught out, and the further they go out of their base, the more they have to worry about other lanes just heavily pushing in. And as a result, thanks to Mega Creeps, TFT's actually just going in. They're not going to wait. They're not going to play the let's just wait, sit back, and let the creeps do their job game. They want kills, damn it. They kill Beastmaster. They're going to take out Invoker here. Most likely, yes, he's dead. He buys back immediately. This game's over, though. GG, well played. We're going game 3, Fluff. You're going to be more excited.
Yeah, I'm happy. This is gonna go to game 3. It's perfect. The game 1 was just such a stomp, but
yeah.
At this game, you know, Secret. I think TfT, they, you know, in the pre-game lobby, they did not join instantaneously. That means they probably were having a meeting talking about, you know, our lineup was really slow. Let's play something more